Yeah, yeah.
You feel me?
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Habesha Experience. My name is Mike, and these are my co-hosts right here.
My name is Kidan.
Sammy Sam in the house tonight. Yo, yo.
We're back. It's your boy Tommy.
Tommy.
And if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We talk about some dope topics. Today's topic is going to be about empowering the community, you know? What are the benefits of building a strong community, you know? I feel like we lack as a community to bond together and, you know, and like work together like these other races, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We speak factual and, you know, facts, big facts. Let's talk about like, what do we lack as a community to grow together and bond and, you know, that togetherness? What do we lack? Let's talk about that first.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take it?
We lack a cohesive bond among the Habesha community in the States, and the diversity is much to blame about it because we are everywhere. We have all the Habesha group, like more conservative and stuff like that, and we have the young and liberal, and we don't really, the Habesha institutions that we have, such as churches and other community get together or like a community awareness movement that we have, we don't really join them. We run away from them. We do our own things. We are so focused. I understand we are living in a very individualistic society, but we are more into ourselves and we do most of our personal stuff rather than being involved in the community.
True.
Real talk, real talk.
That's true, man.
Anybody want to pick it up?
Well, what I want to say is that I want to add to what he says because
Yeah.
between there's a huge gap for the citizens that are born here and for those of us that, you know, that came.
Yeah, immigrant gang.
You know what I'm
Us.
saying?
I don't even know what we call us. What do we consider?
I'm-
Are we immigrants?
I'm
Are we
immigrant.
like first generation?
Nah.
We're born in Ethiopia.
Straight up Fox.
But
We fobs,
our
bro.
language. I don't believe that. Nobody call me fob, man.
I don't believe that, but we are immigrants.
Yeah, immigrants is fob. Is fresh out the boat.
Nah, that's
we've been here for like 20 plus years. I don't know about some of y'all.
We Fox, man.
You could be a fob, not a fob, man.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's cool, man. So what I want to say that even like, here's for example, like when we go to church back in the days, we have our own group. You know what I mean? Like all the citizens will be like children in the back, and we right here, you know, talking like, you know, speaking in Amharic, you know, having our thing going on. You know what I mean?
So there are cliques or
you know,
groups.
Exactly. There's cliques in the church, and I remember that like back in the day. Even to this day, it might happen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think we lack that. We don't really like communicate between these two groups of people.
So you think there's a gap between?
There is a huge gap,
So
obviously.
there's three real groups, right? So you're talking about citizens. What he's referring to
Right.
talks about people that are born here.
Born
I just want to clarify.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And then there's the so-called first generation, but really fobs would be
That
us.
came early.
Yeah, came early. You know, been here for a while, or speak English.
Right.
We still have a little connection to back home. And then there's our parents, which is, you know, from back home, predominantly speak Amariña or Tipiña, whatever at home, which is very different because our language is a little bit of both. Our parents are strictly Amariña or Tipiña, and then the citizens you're talking about is strictly English.
Yeah.
Some know a few words here and there with it.
Yeah,
I mean, not really.
I feel like they come right back to it as they're grown. They're like they want to rekindle their culture, kind of thing.
Yeah.
When they're grown, but you know.
But that's what I see though. So basically, there's a huge gap in the community, and I think there has to be something done. You know what I mean? In order to bridge
Yeah,
that
that's
gap.
what we're gonna get into.
Yeah.
Like, what are we not doing? Like, why is it so hard for us to like connect and just, you know, build our community? Because we have a big population.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're still kind of spread apart.
out.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Samuel?
I mean, I think I can only talk about my experience here in LA, but I think LA is a very unique place, partly because of the size of it. You know what I'm saying? We're very much spread out. You know, the Habesha community is not concentrated in a very small area. You know, you're talking about people in Orange County, the Valley, you got people in, you know, Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area. You know, so the fact that the city itself is spread out and people live an hour and a half from each other and still considered LA is a huge factor. People don't take that into consideration. But I don't know, man. Maybe we're just haters, man.
I mean, no. I'm glad you brought it up. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that, you know, like I'm busy shouldn't be an excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not
Like
really
everybody's like, yo, I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that. Yet you have time to go out. Yet you have time to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are we not like?
I disagree with Sandy because we have a model communities. Like we refer to the Jewish community as an idol, but the Korean community they are everywhere spread out too.
That's true.
But what really happened, I believe, is like when we come here, the melting pot analogy, we trying to assimilate into the culture, trying to submerge into the culture so hard.
Yeah.
Like we know when we come here, like me personally, I was trying to act like I'm Black African American from out here. So I was like my language.
That's hip hop right there. Hip hop music.
And that didn't help also because this is Hollywood. This is
There's a lot of
So I was dressing more like whatever I see in the
Gang,
hip hop
gang.
community, and I was like BET.
Nah, but that, like, you're young. What I'm saying
You're
is, like,
impressionable.
now that we're grown, you know, we have to be able to understand each other in a way. Because when you're young, you know what I mean, you be with a certain group, and, you know what I mean, you're the cool group, the loser group, or whatever, but it's like, there should be no excuses now, you know, like you say, we model Jewish community and Korean community.
we want to model the Jewish community, right?
And then we're like, oh, the money revolves around them, blah, blah, blah. But we're like, bro, we have one block on Fairfax.
That's very true.
And
That's our claim to claim.
that's what I'm saying. And that thing is about to be gone in like 5 years. So if y'all don't know, recently they said that it's going to be destroyed. You know what I mean? Because of like gentrification and all that kicking in. Like, how do we can't even, you know, if we can't fight even to keep that, like, we're not even like a community. I'm not trying to bash anybody. Please chime in the comments if y'all disagree with me or whatever. I'm stating facts. But like, you know, we have to be able to like be a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like the Koreans have their own environment, their own banks, and their own stores, and people buying. You know what I mean? Like, we have to do that.
I can give you another example. When you play soccer, you guys know, right? Every time there's a game, they kick us up, basically.
Yeah, keep going.
You know what I mean? So we get kicked out. Why?
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a permit. And then one time we decided to get the permit, but nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to take in charge. You know what I mean? So I feel like, I don't know what's wrong with this. To be
No,
honest with you, man.
I'll tell you what it is.
That's really like a bad experience.
I'll tell you what it is. It's like culture held us really further back, like to the point where we're like, you know, we have to act a certain way. You know what I mean? We don't up and like ask for things because of our culture. We're so like
we're shy.
like, oh, blah, blah, be nice to blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I believe that's the case, and we don't follow through like certain things. We try it once, and if it doesn't work, it's a Habesha thing, like it's not meant to happen and stuff like that. We're not. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like go-getters.
Go-getters.
Yeah.
I mean,
aggressive.
I mean, not go-getters.
I mean,
yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah,
But
but
that's what happens on the field, and then it's really like unbelievable, man.
and that's like a small example. Like
Exactly.
you got to look
You
at,
can
like, you know what I mean. If somebody has a business, or if somebody has like a certain thing, how come, you know, we don't?
You don't really.
We're rather like, oh no, like, ooh, levano, ooh, levana. You know what I mean? Like,
My question is, why are we not supporting each other? I'm saying, like, in terms of smaller communities, like, why are we not, like, you know, the thing they say is that $1 within the Jewish community circulates 12 times before it leaves the community. How many times do you think it circulates within the community?
Nothing.
Like, you know, other than, like, restaurants.
In Jeddah,
That's it. That's the only thing we
drinks.
support consistently.
Yeah.
We don't even...
We don't, there are a lot of Habesha that own a lot of small businesses like barber shops, and we have barber shops.
Yeah.
And we have musicians, we have a lot of Habesha small business going on. Like we have like accounting firms and stuff.
Tax
like
and
that.
all.
people they don't really get comfortable to be taken care of by Habesha businesses.
Why is that? What's wrong with it? What are we doing wrong? Is it because like that there's a tendency that we might, you know, like privacy issue? You know what I'm saying? We're typically Habesha. What are you going to change?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I come do my business with you, then you're gonna go and take my business and share my fucking information with other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, let's say,
right.
for example, you know, like, say you want to do your taxes, right?
Yeah.
There's so many Habesha people that do their taxes.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there and, like, you know, like, people get scared of, like, oh, you gonna know my social? Hell no. Or, like, you gonna know how much I make?
You're gonna know my
He's gonna
age?
judge
Hell
me?
no.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell no. I don't want that nigga to
That's
know
what I'm
my
saying. Like all that comes into play, but it's like, if you think about it, like if you know what I mean, like
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
who would like just sit there and like it's just paranoia. Who would sit there and be like, yo, this nigga's born on this year, 1904. Damn, he's old. You know what I mean? Like it's just paranoia and like we're so secluded and like you know back then in Ethiopia, I can tell you like when I left the country. My parents were like, yo, don't tell anybody.
It's fear of, right?
It's fear of like, yo, what they can do.
So you think it's more a cultural thing?
It's a culture. Like I'm saying, like culture holds us back.
It's in the G's, yo. Like,
Yeah.
It's in the G's.
But how do we break out of that? Like I feel like being an immigrant, coming here young, is like the best of both worlds because we experienced back home, and now we're here. We experienced it here, and it's like, how do we combine that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And grow, you know?
Yeah.
I think understanding the problem will help. The main problem here is the lack of awareness what strong social network within community is supposed to produce. How it's supposed to help. We lack that awareness. As long as we lack that awareness, and as long as that unknown of this reality exists, it's really hard to come together and build very strong communities.
So what he's saying is basically like, before there used to be like a directory of businesses. And you knew what everybody did. You knew what business was there. If you wanted a tax, you know, there's this, that, there's that. There's a lot of information, but we don't have access to it these days. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know specifically that person. Not having that information can prevent you from
Like,
going back.
you mean not knowing if a Habesha person does that?
Yeah, like, you know.
There's
sometimes-
Google, that's the thing.
Well, I mean, what are you going to Google Habesha, blah, blah, barber? It's not going to show up. Like, I'm saying.
No,
like,
I mean like, okay, and then like,
it's word of mouth, right? What's word of mouth?
No,
But you're not completely aware.
we live in a, bro, like we have internet now, we have Instagram. Like, LA know each other.
Yeah.
We know the whole community.
For the most part,
For the most part that live here, right?
Yeah.
So we know who does what and what does what, right? So I'm gonna include myself. Like we're like, oh no, like I'm part of it too. I'm part of it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I speak that, don't look at it like, oh nigga, don't act like you're blah blah blah. I know you comment, you know, people comment. I'm just saving myself, but you know what I'm saying?
We're all in the same boat. You're not alone.
We live in the internet. The age of information is right now. Like we have the information right here in our phone, and then we don't tend to like continue. I was gonna pick up from you, but I forgot what I was gonna say. But go ahead.
Do our own research.
Huh?
No, like, no one's blame. It starts from ourselves, right?
Okay.
It starts from ourselves. For instance, me, I used to work in Santa Monica, and this Mexican guy used to cut my hair. But I'm very aware that a couple of Habesha has running barbershop.
Yeah.
And what information I'm scared of in surrendering, like, I have.
Maybe they
like,
whack.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're not though.
I
Maybe
just
they're
don't
good.
take my time. Well, this is my community, and it's my people doing this job.
Yeah.
I need to go there because that money will work for them, and around the money will come around to me.
And maybe he doesn't do a good job. Maybe it's just an
That's
average
what I'm
job.
saying.
Maybe it's an average job. But I think the biggest issue is also that we tend to talk negatively about each other. I think that's a huge factor. Like, it's not, you know, like...
Say that again.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, it's not that we do a good job, but like, you know, like I know friends of mine who be like, hey, I want to go get a haircut at this guy. He's like, man, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Oh, that nigga does.
Yeah. You give me all the negative stuff. We don't
Yeah.
emphasize all the positive stuff, all the positive effort that they put into it. Like they say that negative memory lasts longer in your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we tend to carry that a lot more heavier.
Because as humans, we take from like say like, I'm trying to be like, yo, this the homie, I just met him, and then if you're like, yo, don't fuck with him, I might have like, yo, my intentions will be up, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
You
even
know what
though
I'm
it
saying?
might be.
Even though he could be like,
you can have
the
5
coolest
people
person.
tell you that it's good, and when one person tells you, oh man,
Yeah,
right, and you'll be like, you know what, I don't want to take my chances.
But the fact that we live in a society here in the U.S. that it's all about like me,
yeah.
and like, yo, let me take all the money, and it's all up for
That's
me.
what it is, exactly.
It's a me society. That is kind of like added to the culture that we have, bro. It's literally like a mindfuck.
Another thing I want to mention is that we're not collective. Like we don't practice like what I would like to say like group economics. You know,
Yeah.
we don't. Every one of us is like doing our own thing, separate.
It's a me thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the country really is an
Bro,
individual.
No, when you look at
Start a company.
races,
Yeah, sorry.
you know, like Asians,
Yeah.
anybody else, they do that collective.
Yeah.
They do some collective work. But when it comes to Habeshas, we don't do that, and that's really hurting us
And that,
for the most part.
and that's the thing about like we usually like clap for other people or
Exactly.
other races that are like,
Yeah.
yo, he did this. Oh, yo, he did that. Oh my God, what was it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was a Habesha person, like
quickly become.
yeah, like if a Habesha person started like an Uber, right? Let's just say Uber, whatever, and then he's like, yeah, Habesha got money now.
Yeah.
He wants my credit card. Hell no. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just like that stigma of like, yo, this nigga might be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's added to that, but you know, China, please.
Yeah, I really like we discussing this because the hurt from this type of community that we have is 1,000-fold. We don't have loving power in the city hall. We don't have any meaningful. We cannot bring any meaningful impact being this community.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000-fold. Like we go to the city, like you said, we share the same field with different type of community, and that community knows it has lobbying power. It goes to the city, it got its permit, and we immediately got kicked out by cops because like we don't have community.
I mean, it's sad. I mean, you're talking about a population. I don't know what the population of Habesha in LA is.
It's like 250,000.
You think it's that?
Yeah. 250,000.
I can't put a figure on it. It's a lot. It's huge. It's a large number. That
So
What was
gives us
the
a lot of
census
power.
done?
So if LA
That was then, 2007,
Yeah.
8, when they did the census, 250,000 Habeshas.
I mean,
What
it's
about- what about
significantly
DC?
more if it was.
It's more now, yeah.
How about DC? What do you guys think?
I don't know, but let me get to the point. The point I'm trying to say is that number is significant. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, not just in terms of that's voting powers. You know, that's political power. We should have somebody that represents our district. I mean, we got to think bigger and larger. You know what I mean? People are doing it. People are doing it in Denver. People are doing it in fucking DC.
Yeah, by the way, we're not
Yeah.
bashing LA. We're just bashing, not even bashing, we're just talking about like the problems in the
And
Habesha
how we can
community.
improve.
It's not just like,
Yeah.
oh, LA people, like, don't look at it like, oh, LA people's like that. We're not saying that. So I'm trying
I think every city has their own struggles. Every city has issues. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Maybe some. I mean, every city. I don't think they're completely unified. You know what I'm saying? There's division within it, but we're trying to figure out how can we be stronger.